Hello and welcome to Let's Play Rimworld. I am JJamJim and this is a brand new Let's Play of Rimworld. We are in Alpha 16 right now. Alpha 17 should be coming out in the next few months, but for now I want to do as long of a running series as I can on Alpha 16 with mods in Rimworld. So let's get started. We're going to get a new colony. And I have some custom colonies that I have already built. Sorry, not colonies, scenarios. I have some custom scenarios that I have built. And the way I like to play Rimworld is I kind of like digital suffering. So I enjoy playing on beginning with nothing. I love doing tribe because I think that the research is just too fast on the traditional crash landed where you are a colony versus a tribe. I prefer tribe because it's a little bit more difficult. You don't start with electricity. It makes everything a little harder. I just prefer that because, again, I like digital suffering. So let's start as a tribe. We're going to start with one person. I love starting with one person. I think it's exciting and it feels random. And then when you join people and hopefully they don't die, but sometimes they do, and then you get really upset. And that's just part of Rimworld. So I'm going to start with a couple incidents disabled. I do not prefer resource pod crashes or refugee pod crashes. The reason for that is I prefer to gather my resources that are on the map I'm on or through traders. Random drop pods of wooden feet or whatever. I don't prefer it, and I would rather have that stuff come through other means that aren't just random things dropping. And the refugee pod crash, even though I am playing with the hospitality mod, I still don't prefer the refugee pod crashes. I would rather have random wanderer join, and then I can choose whether or not to play with them. And then I start with one random pet. I guess before we go into it, I just want to show you the mods that I'm operating with, and I'm going to hold on this screen for just a bit. I'm playing with quite a few. Most of them are quality of life mods, nothing really gameplay changing, which, is fine. Some people like to play with gameplay changing mods. I typically don't. Typically, I have tried to mess around with some of the medieval mods, but typically I like to play with just stuff that makes things easier. Rim Fridge is great, Conduit Deconstruct, Reclaim Fabric, some of these things that I feel like should kind of be in the base game already. But yeah, so this is the mod list that I am playing with. So let's close this out, go back to new colony. We're going to begin again with nothing next. Now, I like playing Cassandra, and I'm going to play on Intense, just below Extreme. I'm playing on Intense. I would love to try Extreme, and maybe we'll do that for the next Let's Play. But for now, I want to do Intense because that is one that I am hopeful, and I say that now, and you can all tell me I told you so later, but for now, I feel like this is one that I can get going to a point without dying and starting over 15 times, because I would prefer not to do that. But I think we're going to play with Intense. And Permadeath mode, that I never mess around with that because I never save scum. Ever. Never save scum. No matter what. Even if my thriving colony and something gets messed up, that is my fault. I move on. Don't even need it. Never save scum. You can quote me on that. Next. Alright. Globe coverage, I love doing 100%. I know it takes a little longer and whatever, but I love doing it. So we're going to call this JJamJim. Rainfall and temperature, keep the same. Generate. The way I like to play Rimworld is very much just surviving. I want to survive moving into thriving. I think the beginning part of this game is so awesome because it takes you, especially when you're doing tribe and not a lot of research and you have nothing to start with, it's literally like you're starting from nothing. I know I've said nothing a bunch of times now, but it's just so exciting because you start with nothing and then you can just transform that into this thriving colony, and just the journey that it takes to get there is so cool, and I want you all to come on that journey with me because Rimworld is great, and hopefully this Let's Play series, if you're new to the game, it inspires you to play Rimworld because this game has just taken over my life. I love it. And I just want to share it with everyone. Okay. So here we are in our world. Now, if I wasn't doing a Let's Play series, I would I always go to advanced, and I like to do 300 by 300 cells. Just a little bit bigger of a map, and it's really stable, so that doesn't bother me at all. So I'll go to 300. But what I would typically do is select random site, and I would just click a bunch of times without looking and hit next. So it's almost like I'm thrown into a world, and I don't know what's going to happen or where I'm going to go. But for this, especially starting with nothing, if I land on an ice sheet or sea ice scenario, I'm not going to survive very long at all. So we will not do that for this Let's Play, but I just want to let you know that that is typically what I would do. So I think what we'll do for this is I'm going to do a boreal forest. This is tropical rainforest. What am I doing? I'm going to try a boreal forest landscape. I've been doing some playing on my own, and I haven't had a lot of winters. So I really do want to do a little bit more of okay, I got to grow really quickly for one season, or I need to grow, with hydroponics, that sort of thing. So let's see. I don't want to do mountainous because that just makes it too easy. Although, let's see, not too easy. It's a lot easier to defend when you're in a mountain area. So let's do large hills. 20 days of growing. That's good. Sandstone and granite, sure, but how about granite, limestone, sandstone? See, I'm going to be picky here real quick, but I just like slate, sandstone, marble and slate. Yes. There we go. We're going to do this. Marble and slate. Oh, that's mountainous. Can we get another one? I don't want to sit here forever and do this. Here we go. Marble, slate, and limestone. 20 days, negative 2.8 winter temperature. Great. And you can see I'm in Fahrenheit. I'm in the United States. I will be using Fahrenheit. I know many of the Let's Plays that I watch, everything is in Celsius. So if you are in Celsius, I apologize, but I will be playing in Fahrenheit because that's unfortunately the temperature that I know. So we'll be playing on this boreal forest. We are somewhat close to a couple factions, so that might be nice if we want to set up a caravan to trade and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Now, creating the characters. Again, because I love the randomness of this game, I love the digital suffering, what I typically do is I will just not even look at the character when I hit this and hit start immediately, without looking. So I'm going to do that right now. So I do have the Prepare Carefully mod. That was only because I was playing on a different series where I was doing a thing with a husband and wife, and I never really got too far in that. That wasn't anything I made a Let's Play for, but I was just doing that on my own. So I got that mod, but I rarely use it. So I'm gonna literally close my eyes, and I know you can't tell, but you have to trust that I'm not lying here. I'm gonna close my eyes, and I'm gonna hit randomize several times. I'm gonna block the screen, and I'm gonna hit start. There we go. I have no idea. I have no idea who this person is, but we are gonna try, and it's gonna be awesome. So here we go. Alone, deserted on a desolate planet with nothing. You must not just learn to survive, but to rebuild civilization. Yes, I wrote that myself. Thank you. No, it's not that good. But, it helps get you into it a little bit, and I didn't want to use the traditional crash landed one because it wasn't quite as pertinent. Story is everything. All right, here we go. I also have the leadership mod, so I will continue as a democracy. That is fine. We're going to pause the game. We have Lax here. Oh, Lax. And Lax, she as a shaman? Yes. Lax is a shaman. Psychically hypersensitive, not great. Ugly, but you are an optimist. So hopefully that permanent mood effect will help. You have a lot of passion for things growing. Excellent. That will be very helpful. We are in the second of summer right now. Art is whatever. Research is 0. that kind of sucks. Just starting out, especially when you start off with one person, research is kind of important because basically what you want to do is kind of hunker down in a little bit of a bunker and just start researching to get to electricity as fast as you can so you can start growing stuff. So this is our map. Again, as you can see, 300 by 300 is a little bit bigger than the typical one, but we are starting here. We have Ragdoll is our animal. That's great. Let's get Ragdoll trained up immediately. I don't think we're going to do much with that yet. But I'm going to set your restrictions, your priorities, that sort of thing. I always like to do manual priorities, obviously. What I typically like to do for priorities, and I see a lot of other people using ones across the board. However, I do ones for firefight, patient, doctor, bed rest, and flick. Always. Every person has, well, I take that back. Doctoring is a one for people who have passion, typically because I want them to level up so when we get to doing surgeries and things, then they're better at it. But typically I don't, I will have everyone do doctoring. If they're bad at it, I'll give them a 4. And that's just because in a scenario where all of my doctors are down, I need to be able to click and make sure that, and right click and say, treat this person and know that they're going to be able to do it. Even if it's not good, some treatment is better than none. You are good warden. So if you notice, everything after this becomes a 2 through a 4. Because, and the fact of that is, so if I have everything on, let's see, you can't cook it all. Negotiate, we're going to put your handle down to 3. You can cook. You're going to have to, choke down some of that food poisoning you're going to give yourself for sure. Construct, you suck at that too. That's also 2. You need to be able to do everything at this point. Plant cut, not smith, not sailor, not art. You will need to craft because we will need to get you to craft a weapon for yourself. Haul, clean, definitely, and research, let's just give that a 4 for now. So basically what I was saying is if you do it this way, the benefit of it is if I need this colonist or a bunch of other colonists to haul or clean on a massive scale, I can just hit, I can just make this a 1, and now this will take priority over everything. Versus if I had this at a 1 and this at a 1, I would have to either turn these down or make this a higher number. And so I like to leave 1 as like a do this now type of deal, besides for these again. But typically with these, I find it's just a lot easier and you don't have to do as much clicking around and changing priorities and doing that sort of thing, all that nonsense. So here we are. First things first, we have nothing. So we are going to need to build a base. And luckily, there are trees everywhere. Man, I forgot about boreal forest and how many trees there are. Okay, we're halfway through this video and I have not started building yet, so let's start building. Let's see. We are going to hunker down. Man, there's some water on this map, which is good. I have the fishing mod, so we can do some fishing, which could be helpful, especially if there's not a lot of game and we can't do a lot of growing in the winter. But I'm trying to find a place where we can hunker down, but you can't build anything on this marsh, so that's going to be sucky. Maybe we build right in here. We have some components there, which really aren't helpful at this point because we don't have the capabilities. Actually, I could probably wall this off. First things first, let's just get inside of here. Before I start thinking about walling all this off and doing that, let's just get inside, get some stuff going, get a bow, get everything situated. Tons of berry bushes around here. We will definitely be doing a lot of that. All right, so Lax, let's get you going here. Your work priorities are all set up. We will just continue with the name Lax. That is fine. Here we go. Make sure those are hauled. So, first things first. Another thing is I always toggle off the automatic zoning of the home area. I prefer to do that myself. It's a little bit more micromanagement, but I do like to add that myself versus it, if I was to build like a stockpile up here or something and it adds its home zone and then, your colonists are running up here to clean some dirt off of a bush. Not needed. So I'd like to be able to do that myself. A little bit of control there. Okay, so for right now, stockpile zone, let's make this right outside here. We're going to use these 2 openings for doors. And I have no usable materials. Again, start with nothing. So we're going to cut this down. We're going to cut down some trees right Here. Perfect. And we're going to set that stockpile to... We're just going to rename it real quick. I like to rename my stockpiles. It's a little bit OCD on my part, but I do like to rename them when I can. So let's call that main stock. We're going to allow everything except rotten, and we're not going to allow human corpses, but we are going to allow animal corpses. And we'll make sure we'll have to roof that, so it does not... We're also going to chop those trees down as well. And so, okay, so she's going to chop this wood. The first few days of this game is crucial, especially when you're starting with nothing. Just because you want to make sure you're prepared by the time the first wild animal comes. And not wild animal, mad animal, I should say. So we'll do a sleeping spot here, animal spot. We're also going to do the crafting spot. And we're going to do that right there. And we're going to set a bill for that to make a short bow, because she's going to need it. Do you have any skills at shooting? You have passion. You are better at melee, but unfortunately, we are not going to melee hunt with one person because we cannot treat you. So let's just set this up. I'm not going to put the research bench down yet. I'm going to just kind of get everything situated up here. So let's start the game, and I'm going to put it on 2 speed. Typically, I like to run on 2. Rarely do I run on 3 speed, although in the beginning of these games, I will run on 3 sometimes, only because it's just one person and not a whole lot's going on. She's going to chop some trees. That is excellent. So now that we have some wood, we are going to do a wood door there and a wood door there. It's always good to have 2 entrances and 2 exits. Well, I guess an entrance is an exit. That's okay. Never mind. Forget some of those things I say. I'm ridiculous. So I definitely like to have 2 doors into an area, just because if, let's say, I get attacked and someone's coming at me and I run inside the door and they're going to knock that door down, I have no way out. So I'd like to get out and I can kite them a bit or whatnot. So, and Lax, because of your growing skill, you are doing a phenomenal job on this wood, and that is stellar. So what we're going to do, it's the 2nd of summer, we're going to set up a growing zone immediately. And I'm going to try to not do it over those bushes just so we can keep them. So I'm just going to set up a small growing zone here, and you are going to plant... Let's just plant potatoes right now. What is this fertility on this? Is it 100? Yeah, we're just going to plant potatoes for now. So we're going to do that. We're also going to harvest, do a mass harvest of these bushes. Get some berries going. Get a nice stockpile of berries. This map is actually really great with berry bushes. Holy crap. Which is good, because when you start out, I've done a few of these on desert, and that is, man, what a bear that is to just be clipping random agave plants here and there. Not as fun starting out. Your character gets really hungry, and sometimes it becomes pretty nasty. We're also going to lower this to herbal medicine. The only reason I would want them to use better medicine, just because we can't make it yet, and it's going to be a little bit before we have a big stock of it, is I want to make sure that I reserve this for either really, really bad wounds or surgery. Because herbal medicine, for the most part, does prevent infections. It may take them a little bit longer to become healthy from their wounds, but that's fine. That doesn't bother me too much. Okay, so you're going to grow. I'm going to let you do that, I think, before we craft this bow. We don't have a dumping stockpile yet, so let's set that up. Let's just make a really small area, somewhere they can't eat, somewhere that a raid cannot use as cover. I don't want to... yeah, let's just do it right here. That's fine. Let's do a small dumping stockpile. We're going to call this, again, I like to rename my stockpiles. I'm sorry if that's annoying. It takes over. Okay, stone and slag. And we're going to not allow any corpses. We'll allow mechs if that happens, but no apparel or weapons. And no rotten. Boom. Alright, she's doing a masterful job of this. What we're going to do is make sure that this stockpile is roofed. Set a roof area there. Not there. So all of this will not... I'm just going to expand that out just a bit. This stockpile is going to need to get bigger pretty quickly. But for now, this will do just fine. She's going to be chopping these trees down. I'm going to set up to 3 speed. She's going to chop these trees down. Before growing. We have so much wood now. I'm not used to having that much wood in the beginning. That's just fantastic. And there's steel right here, which is also really, really good. So, you know what? Let's just... Oh, it scared me there for a second. I thought Ragdoll was something else. We're going to put down a research bench. Even though she can't research, we're going to put down a research bench immediately. And we're going to have her, do this. That means I'm going to set up a couple mining jobs just to mine out just a small... Sorry, there's a little bit of lag there. You're starving. Yeah. Will you be okay throughout the night? Your rest is going up really fast. It's almost morning. I think you'll be okay. You'll be fine. You're just going to be a little cranky when you wake up. And I would be too if I was literally starving. But you are an optimist, so everything is fine. Optimism. Optimism's great. Okay. Predator's cutting that bush. Quickly, so you can eat. There you go. Everything's fine. Ragdoll's eating. Everyone's good. Okay, you're going to mine that out so you can start working on this simple research bench, which is great. You know what? We have so much wood right off the bat. I'm going to build a bed. I also have the quality builder mod. Your construction is shit. Yes. So, I'm just going to take that off, and we'll see what happens. You know what? I'm not going to take that off. I take that back. I'm going to make sure that it is at least poor quality. I find that if you can do... Okay, you're going to fail that. Great start. You're so good at growing. Yeah, and that's awful. The reason I like to do at least poor quality is I feel like that is just a base amount of rest effectiveness and a base amount of beauty and quality of the bed. And you are just going to keep doing this. Shoddy, how are you getting there? Awful again. Yeah, this may be wasting time, but I think it's fine. Let's give it a couple more before we just ditch this. But you know what? She's learning construction as she does this. So her construction skills are going to be going up. Look at that. It's a 2 already. All right. You're just going to give up. You're just going to give up and go right back to the thing. That's the spirit. That's a bad start. Wow, you were terrible. In the meantime, I'm going to set up a torch lamp so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to set that up right there. And I think this is going to be the one. It's not. It's not. I lied. Okay, torchlight. Maybe you needed light. There you go. Let's try it again. Here we go. Here we go. Big money. Awful. Can we at least get a shoddy one again? Let's just try for a shoddy one. It's awful again. Dear Lord. My goodness, you are bad at this. Okay. Well, we'll let her go to sleep, and we're going to let her do this in the morning. I think this is actually a decent start, though, because we are... She's starving again. Yeah, okay. You going to disturb your sleep? Probably. Let's have you do that. Eat some berries. We're going to actually have you craft, because I think, if I remember correctly, I believe... the following day, which would be the 3rd day, the Mad Animal event will happen. And I want to make sure that we have a bow to at least defend ourselves and hope that we do not get scratched in any way, shape, or form. And she's done crafting that. Of course, it is an awful bow because you're bad at things. You have no crafting skill whatsoever. That is fantastic. All right. Okay, you know what? You're just going to have to live in a shoddy bed. That's fine. Your comfort is 50%. It's not great. But your rest effectiveness is 90. You're going to have to deal with it. So all we're going to do is instruct that. We're going to reinstall it. There. We're going to have her work on that immediately and leave it. Perfect. And at least she'll have a bed and she won't be sleeping on the ground and complain about that, which is good. Something around is -4, but it's fine. All right. Research bench is up. I'm going to pause the game real quick. So research bench, oh, Do I not have the mod? I thought I had the research list mod that reorganizes everything else, but that's fine. We'll just roll with this. I'm going to research stone cutting first. That I just find stone cutting is super, super important when you are starting out with a tribe. I could go right for electricity, but it is 3,600. And keep in mind, our tech level is Neolithic. So it just, the penalty is higher. And so 600 is just a lot more doable than 3,600. And we're going to need to start making stuff out of stone. Not because we're out of wood, but just because wood burns. And we're going to get lit on fire, and there's going to be thunderstorms, and I don't want to deal with it. I'm even leery of having these wooden doors right here. In fact, I might make these doors out of steel. Okay, so this is all grown. You're probably going to start hauling after you finish all of this, which will be good. You've got a couple more here. Harvest failed. Okay. Yep, you're gonna harvest that, and then you're going to just start bringing that stuff in. That is fantastic. Okay, we got a visitor already. An addiction council. Nice English. Okay. We got Sammy here. Now, we do have the hospitality mod, so I'm going to make sure that we entertain all of our guests, and I'm going to make that the default. Let's just check out our factions real quick. So, we do have a tribe against us, the Orange Tree Amalgamation. They are hostile. You know, I've never, and I don't know, and maybe you guys could tell me, post in the comments if you know, but I don't know if, I don't think with these tribes we can, but I'm wondering if we can make them not hostile. Like, if we can, you know, send some goodwill, do some things, send back all of their broken people, if we can get them not hostile against us. Because I know you do sometimes start in a game with 3 tribes, or 3 factions, I should say, that are not hostile towards you. But sometimes you do start with a tribe that is hostile, so I'm wondering if that can be flipped. We have Pact of Edasusa, and the Coalition of Peza. The Animal Group and the Tomahawks are our pirate bands. So, Sammy here, just got some stuff to trade. Wow, you have some great skills. You are incapable of intellectual and cleaning, which isn't the worst. You can't research. But you're a masochist and a psychopath, and you're abrasive. That is a fantastic combination of traits right there. If you could research, I would totally take you. But, you know, you're good at crafting. You can't really cook or construct either. Yeah, you know, you don't have enough of the skills that we don't have, essentially, right now. Or you don't have enough of the skills that we need. So we are not going to keep you, but we will entertain you and take care of you and hang out and all that stuff. So that will be good. In fact, let's see here. I'm going to, let's see, your rest is almost done. Check if spacecraft has fallen from space and landed nearby. Great, that will be nice when we need steel and some components. Where the hell is our base? We're up here. Okay. We are going to wake you up, and we're going to have you do our first trade. Let's see what... Nope, Sammy's sleeping. Can't trade. You going to wake her up to talk? No, you're going to do some cleaning. So, do we have you set to research? We do. So you will research when everything is done. Now, what I might want to start doing is, just for now, wall around the base. Since I do have a ton of wood, and a seemingly endless supply of wood, I suppose, I think it might be a good idea to just start with our extra protection and go around and build this wall. I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to leave a couple spaces open for her to get around. She's going to fail a bunch. That's fine. But then we can have this whole area, and then they won't attack my growing zones, and they won't set everything on fire, and I can keep my stockpile right there. And then we might start maybe mining a little bit into this. I wonder if this is an ancient danger here. Doubt it. It might be too small. But I think then we're gonna build this wall, create some actual bedrooms and things like that when we start recruiting more people, do some more growing if we can. This soil is still 100%, but I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and please tune in next time for the next episode. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Post in the comments if you like this video and you want to see more. And please like this video if you do. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.